Hello there, my dears. It's just wonderful to be with you again as we review lesson 86. Only God's plan for salvation will work. Only love's plan for salvation will work. This is the morning lesson. Remember, we're to do 3 or 4 minutes focusing on this lesson title and the accompanying little remarks to ponder over, and then to spend 10 minutes or so being quiet and just letting associated thoughts and messages for you come to your mind. And then in the evening time, the lesson title is Holding Grievances is an Attack on God's Plan for Salvation. Oh dear, it seems like attacking God's plan is really not a good idea. So back to our first one. Only God's plan, only love's plan for salvation will work, which decoded says, only the plan of love will allow you to feel loved. Well, I guess that makes a lot of sense. So it says, it is senseless to search wildly for love. I've seen it in many people and in many things, but I found that it wasn't there. How many times have we tried? I guess the number of times depends on how old you are, but if you're younger, you haven't tried as many times, but you look to people, you look to your jobs, you look to your new dress, you look to your kids, you look to everything imaginable to somehow bring love to you as if it were absent. As you acquire those things or do those things or manage those areas of your life. And although that might temporarily have seemed to work out, it was never permanent. So all those places that I looked for, it just would not be there on any sustained basis. Well, not only was I mistaken about where to look, I'm even mistaken about what I'm looking for. I'm looking to be right. I'm looking to have my sense of ego undergirded and strengthened. Oh dear, that's sending me in the wrong direction. So it says, I will undertake no more idle seeking, i.e., to use my example of a few days ago, I will not look for the Statue of Liberty in Montana. I can't find it there because it's not there. And then it says, be so thankful that your way hasn't worked because love's way can't fail. How many guarantees do you get where it says this plan absolutely is guaranteed not to fail, period, end of story, no ifs, ands, and buts, black or white, all or nothing? So here are some suggested forms. God's plan for salvation will save me from my perception of this. The this, of course, being something you don't like or don't want. Perception, remember, refers to not only what I see and hear, all that sensory business, but how. And of course, that would be inevitable because the way I think and what I see out there in the world are always that seamless whole. Therefore, since I'm not crazy about what I'm seeing and making out here in my outer world or my inner feeling world, love is going to save me from this. It's going to save me from this because it's going to provide the experience that I'm looking for. So a second sentence might be, this is no exception. Again, this being anything you don't like, in God's plan for my salvation. In other words, it doesn't matter what it is. If I change my mind and decide to allow myself to be loving in the face of whatever it is, then it doesn't matter what the this is. My experience will change. Let me perceive this only in the light of God's plan for salvation. Okay, I want to give up my plan for anything at all and only look at this in terms of what would love have me do, what would love have me say, remembering that God's plan is always about primarily letting go of grievances and then take a look at what's there. Okay, moving right on to our evening time, holding grievances is an attack on God's plan for salvation. And then it says, if you hold grievances, you're trying to prove that love's plan won't work. Is this nuts or what? To prove that God's plan won't work when it's the only one that works? Oh, therefore, if I'm going to hang on to grievances, I am preventing, absolutely, totally preventing my only hope. Remember, God's plan was promised earlier that it's guaranteed not to fail. And so if I am excluding this only possibility that won't fail, oh dear, we are truly nuts. So now it says I'm going to stop trying to defeat my own best interest by excluding the only way that works. Again, finally, I'm going to look for the Statue of Liberty where it really is instead of cycling around in Montana endlessly. Okay, so I want to accept love's plan and finally be happy, because love and happiness naturally are a package deal. So here are some ideas to think about. I am choosing between misperception, which is always my ego's interpretation of things, and salvation or love. As I look on this, those are the only two things. I either look at things from my ego's perspective or from the inclusive, accepting, loving perspective. Secondly, if I see grounds for grievances in this, I will not see the grounds for my salvation. Okay, if I see what's going on as absolute proof that I'm being victimized, that people are doing what they're not supposed to do, and that I'm being harmed by them, I've been wronged by them. Remember, grievances are when I feel like I've been wronged. So if I am just going to convince myself that I've been wronged, I'm not going to see that it makes sense to offer love into this situation. How could I possibly? As long as I really actually believe I've been wronged, then all I'm going to do is defend myself and fight back. Not a good idea. The last sentence, it says, this, whatever this may be, person, place, or thing you don't like, calls for bringing love into the situation, not attack, not making wrong. Remember, when you attack another, you first are attacking yourself, because the whole idea of attack is in your mind. Whatever is in your mind becomes your experience primarily, and anybody else's is whatever it is. When you attack a so-called other person, you're the one who experiences the attack. If only we could learn that, we'd change our minds much more quickly. So I hope you spend this day practicing these, thinking about them. This is not rocket science. It says this is guaranteed to work 100% of the time. This plan is guaranteed to fail 100% of the time. This shouldn't be a difficult choice if we get our ego out of the way. Okay, have a fabulous day. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.